everyone, students. In this video today we'll be learning how to graph linear equations by using the table of values method. Please copy this heading down in your notes. Graphing linear equations by using a table of values, lesson 4.2, part 2. Please copy that in your notes and please copy down today's date. Alright? Copy all of this into your notes. Now first of all, please understand that we will be learning 3 different ways to graph linear equations. Okay? 3. So today we will be learning the first of 3 different methods of graphing linear equations. Okay? The other 2 methods are called the double intercept method and the slope intercept method. Today we're learning the table of values method. We will be using what we learned in your last video to graph linear equations today. If you learned the material well from your last video, then today's math will be very easy. If you did not, then you're going to struggle a little bit. Here are the steps for graphing a linear equation by using a table of values. Please copy these 4 steps down, and I'm going to give these to you, and I'm going to go on to the next page. So you're going to want to pause the video and copy these down, alright? The first thing you do is you make a table of values. Secondly, pick 3 x values and put them in your table. Next, find the y values for each x value. And then lastly, plot your 3 points and draw the line. Okay, it's a really simple procedure. Please copy these into your notes. Now, I am only going to give you one example in your notes because I want most of your time being spent on your homework practicing these graphs. These problems are long, they take a little bit of time, so I want to give you a lot of time to work on your homework, okay? Also, you really don't need more than one example because the problems are not difficult. You just have to do the work and get out the correct answer. Having said that, please copy this down. Let's graph this equation. So go ahead and draw a coordinate plane. Be sure and label your axes, x and y. And let's get started. If you'll look at your notes, step 1 says to draw a table of values. Now if you'll look down at steps 2 and 3, you notice we're putting in how many x values? 3, correct? So when you do step 1 and you draw your table of values, do it like this. And you should have space. You should have room for 3 x values and 3 y values, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So step 1 is to simply draw your table of values. That's easy. Your x goes here, your y goes here, and you have your 2 columns. Very, very simple, okay? On to step 2. Pick 3 x values. Now, it does not matter what 3 numbers you pick. I always pick small numbers like, -1, 0, and 1, or 0, 1, and 2. Today I'm going to pick, for this problem, I'm going to pick 1, 2, and 3. You can change those. For every problem that you graph, you can use different numbers. It just doesn't matter what 3 x values you pick, but pick smart ones. I would not go with really big numbers. So students, we've accomplished step 1. We drew our table of values. We've accomplished step 2. We've picked our 3 x values. And now on to step 3. We're going to take each x value and find the y value. Like I told you guys, this is a very easy procedure, okay? So my first x value is 1. So I'm going to put 1 in for x. 3 times 1, -4y equals 5. Now let's solve this. Let's simplify our left side. 3 -4y equals 5. Let's bring our 3 over and make it a negative. It's a positive 3. Let's bring it over and make it a -3. And now I'm left with -4y equals 2. Okay? Now we're dividing by -4. These will cancel. Y equals what? We have a positive over a negative. That's negative. 2 over 4 reduces to 1/2. Or you can put -0.5 if you want to. Okay? I'm going to put -1/2. Okay, let's go on now to our next number. Our next x value, which is 2. Okay, again, these problems are not difficult. They're long, though. They take a little bit of time, okay? here's 6 over, it's a positive 6, make it a negative 6. So negative 4y equals negative 1 because you have $5 in your wallet, positive 5, you owe me 6, pay off as much as you can, you still owe me $1. Now divide by a negative 4, divide by a negative 4. These cancel. Y equals a negative over a negative is positive. 1 over 4 is 1/4, or you can put 0.25 if you want to, okay? So up here you can put 0.5 if you want to for 1/2, it's up to you. And then for here we have 1/4, or if you want to put a decimal, that's fine, 0.25, it doesn't matter. Okay? Alright, moving on to our last value. We're almost done with step 3. Step 3, put in our put in our last x value. Excuse me. 3 times 3, negative 4y equals 5. 3 times 3 is 9, negative 4y equals 5. Bring your positive 9 over and make it a negative 9. And now I'm left with negative 4y equals negative 4. You owe me $9, you pay off 5, you still owe me 4. Divide both sides by a negative 4. These cancel out. Y equals a positive 1. A negative divided by a negative is positive. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So step 3 is completed. Step 1, write your table of values. Step 2, pick your x values. Step 3, find your y values. Alright, so now let's do step 4 and we're finished. Now students, we'll take a look at step 4. Step 4 says to plot your 3 points and draw the line. Now look, it helps students sometimes. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, okay? But it sometimes helps students to take these ordered pairs and write them off to the side like this. So they actually see them as an ordered pair like this. Now you don't have to do that, but it might help you to do that, okay? So I took this, put it here, took this, put it here, took this and put it here. So now all that we have to do is plot these 3 points, draw our line, and we're finished, okay? So the first point is 1, negative half. So I'm going to start at the origin. I go positive 1, and then down a half. Positive 1, down a half. My next ordered pair is 2 1/4. Start at the origin, go over 2, and go up a 4th. It's kind of hard to do, but up a 4th, about right there, alright? Next order pair 3 1. So I start the origin, go over 3 and up 1. Now if your 3 points do not line up in a straight line, you've made a mistake somewhere. They should always line up in a straight line, okay? Connect your 3 dots and you're finished. Hey students, are you listening? Always put arrows on the end of your lines. Always. Because this line continues on and on and on and on and on this way. So what you just did is you got a picture. You have a picture now of this equation. This equation is this line right here. And you did it. So guys, you really don't need any more examples in your notes. These steps are easy, but you need to practice them, okay? Now before you work on your homework, I want to say one more thing. I want to show you something that might help you graph these a little faster. But it's your decision. You don't have to do this, okay? I want you to look at our last example we just did, okay? And again, this is your decision. You do not have to do this, but I do think it makes the problem faster and easier. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but you do not have to do this, okay? It's always easier to put values in for x when y is all by itself, for example. If I have something like this, watch how fast, you don't have to write this down, just watch. Watch how fast I can put values in for x. Let's put in 1, 2, and 3. Put a 1 in for x. 2 times 1 minus 3, negative 1. Put a 2 in for x. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 3 is 1. Put a 3 in for x. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 3 is 3. I got my y value so quickly because y was all by itself. So it might help you guys to always take your equation and very quickly get y by itself. Take your 3x, it's a positive 3x. Bring it over and make it a negative 3x. Now divide everything by negative 4. And here's what you're left with. Y equals a positive divided by a negative is negative. 5 over 4 is 5/4. Negative over a negative is positive. 3/4 x. Now, when you go to put values in for your x column right here, it might be a lot faster. Well, it will be a lot faster now to get out your y values when you put your x values in. So sometimes it's helpful to get y by itself before you do this. But if you'll look back at our last example, we did not do that. We left the equation just like this, and we were fine. So it's really a matter of preference, okay? Try it both ways and see which way you like the most, okay? Alright, guys, that's all for today. I hope that this video has been a help to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.